3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
Ding dong. Hello?
Everybody 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Loaded up with alcohol, more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
Stupid idiots.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people.
Three ain't enough now. I need 5. Welcome in, Jim.
I'm an idiot.
Ryan.
I'm a sausage guy.
Matt.
Who gives a shit?
Tim.
Right on the cock.
And intern Mark.
Hi, boys.
I don't steal opportunities. I am the opportunity.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Count Thursday. We are live. It is April the 29th, 2021. We are still the podcast of the millennium. Make sure you go to 3countthursday.com. You'll find all of our social media links, our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver.
Thank you, Tim. We have great designs over there. We have the brand new logo over there as well. So make sure you check that out. Our Patreon page at patreon.com/3countthursday. We also have our Collar and Elbow brand deal, store.collarandelbowbrand.com. Use promo code 3count for 10% off each and every order. Our home network, of course, NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com, and our secondary home, the Leib Sports and Music Network. Ryan, how do you spell that?
You'd spell that with LEEIBsports.com.
That is the one. Thank you, Ryan. If you are following along with us in the live video, give it a like, give it a share. I know the NFL draft is going on tonight, but you can watch that. You don't really need to listen to Mel Kiper talk about a guy for 45 minutes and then see the third pick at 11 o'clock tonight. Just listen to us, watch the draft. We'll try and keep you updated on that as well. But give it a like, give it a share, get as many people in here as possible. We would certainly appreciate that. Let's see here. Matt.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Excited to see how the Eagles mess up the draft pick this week, this year. It's a yearly thing. We have a peach banana strawberry smoothie tonight as we continue that trend. And it's almost Friday. And a good friend of mine picked up a steal of an item for me at Roots Market on Tuesday. So everything's looking good for Matt this week.
That is fantastic. Is that good friend our very own intern Mark by any chance?
It is.
Well, let's go to him. Mark.
How you doing?
Hi, boys. I'm doing real good. Real good. Hi, boys. I'll tell you what, when I was at Roots this Tuesday morning and I was walking by that blue tarp, when anything on that blue tarp is $3 each, or you get 4 for $10. And in there in that pile of rubble, like a diamond in the rough, I saw this alien life form and I knew I couldn't let it there. So I reached down there and I picked him up and I said to the woman, how much is this, Alf? And it was on the tarp for $3 each, or 4 for 10. But I still had to ask. And she said $3. So you can't just pour out the money, be like, I'd take it, then they get suspicious. So what you got to do, Jim, is you got to sit there and you got to act like, well, I don't know if I really want this. You got to make them sweat a little bit. But inside,
it's the art of the deal, right? I mean, that's
You can't show them your hand. Only a fool shows the vendors at Roots their hand. And you got to go up there with a lot of singles.
Well,
How
gotta
much
go
did you
walking
end
up
up? How much did you end up paying for it?
Oh, $3.
Good
but
stuff.
hey, it's all part of the game if you've been at the at these markets. Tim,
How you doing?
I'm good. It's raining here, so of course I'm gonna have a dog, a big giant puppy dog, who's going to be mopey and barky the entire night. So I apologize in advance. But other than that, man, life is good. I decided I was gonna pull my face out from the winter hibernation and actually get some sort of I don't know if it's definition, but we're cleaning up here and
cleaning up.
We're trying our best. Next is going to be the hair a little bit, maybe. We're not going all the way off, but we're gonna try to tighten it up and tidy it up a little bit. No, I'm not going full Buzz Jones.
Because I think when we first met you, you were short hair, Tim.
I was
We've
short
been
hair.
through the full journey.
Well, I've gone through it twice already because I was short-haired Tim, and then I went long-haired, and then I cut it while here, and then I grew it back out again, and that's where I'm at now. And that was 3 years ago, last haircut.
Crazy.
Yeah, and now I'm here. It's where I'm at.
That's where you're at. All right, Ryan.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Lovely.
Let's try that again.
You don't sound okay.
I'm okay. Much like Matt, I'm anticipating the Eagles absolutely laying an egg tonight. To really just go with how Philadelphia sports are being played today. Phillies losing extra innings, and the Flyers are already down 2. So
sounds right.
It's real good, real good. Do the Sixers play tonight? I mean, they can't fuck it up tonight, right?
No, they're off tonight. They won by 44 last night, though.
You know what? There was
44?
all of our good luck blown on one game. All of it there.
Who were they playing? The Washington Generals?
They were playing the Hawks without like 5 of their players. So
No Trae Young, I'm guessing.
No Trae Young. No Bogdan either. So
About Hunter, DeAndre Hunter. Was he out there?
They actually had Trey Cool, the drummer from Green Day. That was their starting point guard. It was a rough go for the Hawks. Little tidbit as Mark was talking and got very long-winded in his introduction. Thank you, Mark. We do a pre-show, post-show that you can find on our Patreon page, patreon.com/FreeCountThursday. Mark contributes 0 to that. He doesn't say a word. I think the entire time we pre-show, he just sits here and watches us. Doesn't say a word. And then has the audacity to launch an 8-minute This Tuesday at Roots on us.
Well, I think it's more so that he's so busy just putting E.T. just so in the camera shot every week.
He is very busy with that.
Christ,
he has props.
This is almost 40 years old.
I was going to say, what's the date on that People magazine?
Oh my God. Yes. What is it? What is the date?
This is from June 28th, 1982.
I was -4 years old.
Also not born.
Yeah, not born.
Nope.
You were the only one out of us alive, Mark.
This I didn't even own this originally. I got it at a actually my little brother Matt picked it up for me. I think there's lots of alcoholic beverage advertisements and cigarette advertisements in here too. It's
don't see those a whole
Can't
lot
do
more.
that anymore.
No.
There's a good one.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
At first, when you held that up, I thought that was Barack Obama because of the way the lighting was on the screen.
Barack just smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, I didn't see the cigarette. I just saw like.
Come on, man.
That's good.
It's a good sound clip there, Jim.
There we go.
Big Jim, how the heck are you, man?
How are you, Big Jim?
I'm much better than I was 24 hours ago. 48 plus hours ago, I got my second shot. So yesterday I was hurting. Yesterday was a rough day, but much better today. Honestly, I don't even know if I would have been able to do the show yesterday. If I was if it was on Thursday. But but yeah, I'm back up and fighting. Whoa, we got I guess we got an indie show this weekend. Devin
What the
just
heck?
threw me. CCW Ticking Time Bomb this Saturday, the Marysville Lions Club, Marysville, PA. Doors at 4, bell time at 5. It is an outdoor show, social distancing. Will be practiced. First and second row, $15. General admission, $10. So yeah, check that out. Thanks for sending that over, Devin.
Yeah, thanks. I totally forgot about that.
I guess as things are starting to come a little bit back online, I got to start paying attention to the companies we endorse and get that page back online on our website. So, thanks for sending me that, Devin. Sorry to hear. I guess he also said that his arm, he's in a cast for 6 weeks. So, that's no good. I hate to hear that.
I was going to count to 3 like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he can use his other arm. Maybe he's got 2 of them.
He's got.
He can stomp his foot like Mr. Ed.
But yeah, so
this is Devin in the corner.
He can run over. He can run over to make the count and then like beat his chest like 2.
But yeah, so I got the second shot.
You were smacking the hell out of yourself.
I was in it for the bit.
You committed.
They sold for that.
I didn't sell, and now I'm selling hard.
He is. He's
it's a work,
strong,
brother. God,
he's Dolph Ziggler selling right
brother,
now.
stiff.
But yeah, much better today. So we glad I got that done.
You look real good, Jim. You look good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. But let's remember, share the video, but let's kick this thing off. We are looking, of course, at April 29th in pro wrestling history. 4 birthdays today. Paul Roma was born in 1960. Titus O'Neil, 1977. Oksana, 1982. And Jay Lethal was born in 1985. We go back to 1995, the largest crowd to attend a pro wrestling event ever assembled in North Korea for the second New Japan Pro Wrestling event held as part of the World Peace Festival. The show drew a crowd of 190,000, shattering the record of 150,000 from the previous day. The show was attended by Muhammad Ali. Pictures of Ali, Antonio Inoki, and Ric Flair were published in all major Korean and Japanese newspapers. The main event of the show saw Inoki defeating Ric Flair with an enziguri. It was the only match ever between the two. 1998, the first annual Brian Pillman Memorial event featuring talent from all major pro wrestling companies, helping to raise money for Pillman's family following his death in October 97, was held in Norwood, Ohio at the Norwood Middle School. It's promoted by Les Thatcher's HWA. The event was hosted by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Sonny, featuring the following results as well as signings and auctions designed to raise money. The show raised $23,500. Nick Dinsmore defeated Trailer Park Trash. Reno Reagans and Steve Dunn defeated Brian Taylor and Bounty Hunter. Flash Flanagan defeated Bull Payne. Chip Fairway and Shark Boy defeated Sean Casey and Tarek the Great. In a match sent by ECW, Al Snow defeated Chris Candido. In a match sent by WCW, Chris Benoit defeated Chris Jericho. UPN broadcast a special titled WWE Smackdown, which doubled as a pilot for a second weekly 2-hour series for WWF. Scoring a 5.8 rating, the show would go to series in August 1999, and SmackDown has run consecutively since. 2001, WWF Backlash takes place in the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, in front of 15,592 fans with a buy rate of 375,000. The show featured 2 matches on Sunday Night Heat, 7 main card matches. In the main event was the 2-man power trip, defeating the Brothers of Destruction to win the WWF tag titles and to retain their WWF and Intercontinental titles. 2007, Backlash takes place in the Phillips Arena, Atlanta, Georgia, in front of 14,500 fans with a buy rate of 210,000. Show featured 1 dark match, 6 main card matches, main evented by John Cena, defeating Randy Orton, Edge, and Shawn Michaels in a fatal 4-way to retain the WWE Championship. 2011, CZW star Nick Gage was sentenced to 5 years in prison in the State Superior Court of Camden, New Jersey, after having pled guilty to 1 second-degree count of bank robbery. And then finally, in 2012, WWE Extreme Rules takes place in the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, in front of 14,817 fans with a buy rate of 263,000. The show featured one pre-show match, 8 main card matches, main evented by John Cena defeating Brock Lesnar in an Extreme Rules match. Those are the events that occurred. April the 29th in pro wrestling history. Busy day in wrestling history today. But we're going to go right from that into a more current list of items that we have, and that would be...
Since John Moxley, Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Come Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
Here we go, officially week number 3 in the Wrestler of the Week, Wrestling of the Year, Wrestler of the Year standings. Is there anybody who wants to kick us off this week? Do we want to go to Mark? No, we'll go to Tim. We'll go to Tim first. Tim, we can't.
Hey, Tim's muted.
Muted. Great. Because I was trying to tippity type while I was talking.
We get you.
Or while Jim was talking, I didn't want to. Yeah, I know. They're on the screen, but you can't go. In my impression, if you win a major championship in a week, I think you're in line to be number 1. And Kenny Omega has started his belt collection, capturing both the Impact and TNA World Heavyweight Championships at Impact Rebellion from Rich Swann. So first place marks goes to the cleaner. Second of all, an impressive showing at NXT this week, standing tall over both the NXT Tag Team and Cruiserweight Champions is Legado del Fantasma. So all 3 of them getting second place votes for me. And then third, a person who dominated the conversation outside of the television screen over the last week due to her suspension and her return unexpectedly on Raw, and a decent match to boot as well, is Charlotte Flair. So my top 3 in order: Kenny Omega, Legado del Fantasma, and Charlotte Flair.
Very good. Anybody want to go next?
That suspension really showed her. Have the rest of the week off.
That $100,000 though.
Yeah, but that's pocket change to a Flair.
Well, that's true. That is true.
That's a Friday night at the bar.
It really is. Probably. Much like Tim, I can't disagree with somebody. If you win really any championship in any given week, you should find yourself on this list. Three legitimate world championships that Kenny Omega currently has. So Kenny Omega is absolutely the number 1 on the list, and really I think should be on anybody's list. That's a huge accomplishment. Jim, I know it's going to be tough, but we'll see if he even makes Jim's list. We'll see.
I don't know.
We don't know. It's always something with Jim. Number 2.
Lashley did return this week.
Bobby! He did. Unfortunately, we didn't have any Mr. Kyle O'Reilly, so I don't think we're going to hear any great sound effects this week for that. So that's my favorite one. That's a bummer. Number 2, I have Josh Alexander, your new X Division champion, kicking off Impact Rebellion. Jim, that's kind of like their No Limits division over in Impact Wrestling. It used to be called TNA. Oh boy, there was a guy. I got a couple.
Idea who that is.
There was a couple guys from the WWE that wrestled over there.
Before they made something
like,
of themselves.
Like Booker T was over there. There was a guy named Christian Cage.
I have no recollection of a Christian Cage.
Okay, that's fair. So that was a big win. Picking up a victory.
Related to Christian, like of Edge and Christian?
Slightly. I think they're cousins.
Okay.
That's why he had to put the cage behind his name.
Well, that makes sense.
Picking up the win then over TJP and Ace Austin. So really good way to start Rebellion. My number 3 is Darby Allin from AEW. That is, we saw Darby pick up his 9th straight title defense, beating 10 from the Dark Order. I thought that was an okay match. There was some extra stuff with Ethan Page coming out, so for Darby to still pick up the victory. Jim, Ethan Page is the guy that used to wrestle with Impact.
I remember Ethan Page from like LCW, KPW.
Yeah, he wrestled there too once.
Yeah,
That
I remember
one
him
time.
there once. Yeah,
Yeah. So
He was the Pokemon champion there, wasn't he?
he was. Him and Vinny Marcellia was the match. It was a great match.
So Ryan, what I am understanding is you have 3 superstars, none of them from WWE.
Correct.
This is your first warning.
And there's a part of
Say
me that hates that you call other wrestlers superstars, which I just always think is a WWE term.
It is actually.
And like we can just call them wrestlers anywhere else. But
Right,
labeling
why
them
would I-
superstars, you definitely hit that a lot. You're
do.
my superstar.
Oh, well, thank you. You're going to make me blush. As if there was any shock, the Jacksonville Jaguars drafted Trevor Lawrence.
And we are keeping track of that live on the screen. You
Oh.
don't have to go anywhere to get your draft coverage.
Look at that.
We've got it in a lower box on the screen.
That is
I
awesome.
will donate part of my screen time for
Love it.
the draft results.
Absolutely. If I'm up there, drop the draft results right here. What I'm saying absolutely isn't important.
Matt or Mark, do you guys want to go next?
How's is Detroit doing anything in the draft this year? How are they making out?
Detroit has 0 picks in the draft, Mark.
I'll be darned.
If you had to pick a team, Mark, what team would it be? Detroit?
Well, I think if I pick Detroit, nobody could accuse me of being a bandwagon jumper.
That's true.
So Detroit's beautiful this time of year too.
No, it's not.
Sure.
No.
We'll hit him with it.
I
Okay,
make
sure,
those
Jan.
lying claims all the time, and that's a tough claim to make, Mark.
That's bold.
Ooh.
That's bold. Sure, Jan. Whatever you say. Mark, why don't you go next since you already kind of had the floor.
All right.
Let's see.
We're
Here we
doing-
go. Here comes the adventure.
All right. Now, number 1 was I'm going to remember this week. So everybody calm down here. We had El Fantasma El Gato was number 1. Number 2 was Punisher Martinez. That was Mercedes Martinez. I was close. I really enjoyed her match on NXT. It's nice to see her back doing something. And number 3 was that guy who paints his face from that All Elite Wrestling
Thing.
Darby All In.
That one.
Sting. I'm really enjoying the TNT title, and I like that it feels important and that it's on the show each week, and I'm liking that. So I'm going to give Darby All In the nod, even though it probably wasn't the greatest match, but I'm liking what they're doing with him. So there's
And
my
this is
3.
like the second time in the last month I think it's actually closed the show. So that's been a nice twist that title not only gets featured every week but gets top billing. So
Is it really that simple for us to care about a mid-title card? You just have to defend it every week? Like that's really all it
Well,
should take.
It's like the TV title, WCW.
Right. I mean, John Cena did it with the United States Championship and it elevated it. It seems like that's just all you have to do. And for some reason, some companies don't get it, WWE.
I was gonna say, be careful, Ryan. You already have one warning. No. And it doesn't even have to be there. I don't even think there has to be a match every week, because there was a couple of weeks where the TNT title wasn't defended, but like Darby Allin and Sting were out there and you saw the title. So like it felt like it was part of the show. So even if you're not going to defend it every week, at least make it part of the show. I mean, especially if you have, in some cases, 3 hours, there's no reason to not. Has anybody seen the wanted poster, the missing poster, the Raw Tag Team Champions? Because they seem to have vanished into
They're
thin
back.
air.
They're
I
back
bet
next
you
week.
I bet you one of them got COVID.
That's what I would imagine.
I think Styles said on the bump that they're back next week. They were, God, I hope I think he said they were in like Nigeria celebrating with almost in his family.
Good for him.
So yes, one of them got COVID. Yeah. Precisely.
Apollo Crews in Nigeria, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what he said. It was a country. That's why I stumbled saying it. I didn't want to just say a country.
Classic, Brian.
I know that's what I'm treading lightly here.
I know Nigeria.
Afghanistan. I don't know what the hell he said.
Matt, you want to give yours?
Yes. So I also had Omega as my number one, just for the big win this week and a great match. I thought number two for me was Legado del Fantasma. Always going to pick that team if they put on matches like they did. And much like Mark, I enjoyed what Mercedes Martinez did on NXT this week. I like her kind of run towards a title match. I think that's much deserved, and I would like to see that program for sure. So anything to elevate her status as well. So Mercedes Martinez, numero tres.
Very good. My number three is Daniel Bryan. I thought he and Cesaro were featured extremely well. Friday night on SmackDown, they beat Seth Rollins, Jey Uso in a tag match. I gave Daniel Bryan the edge over Cesaro because Bryan has the match with the head of the table tomorrow night. If Bryan loses, then he is off SmackDown. So we can maybe get into that a little bit later on in the show. My number two, for all the reasons, Legado del Fantasma, great match. Feels super important right now in NXT. And my number one, Ryan, yes, like almost everybody else, Kenny Omega, winner take all. It actually burned me to, my fingers hurt when I typed that out, but no, you win all the world titles that aren't the WWE basically in North America. You deserve the number one spot. So Kenny Omega is number one, even on my list this week. So Tim, where does that lead us with the weekly and overall standings for the year?
So let's hide this draft coverage and let's put our wrestler of the week and of the year standings up. So with earning 1 point for this week, coming in fourth with 3 points is the new X Division champion, Josh Alexander. In third is Mercedes Martinez. In second is Legado del Fantasma. And earning first place honors across the board with 20 points is Kenny Omega. And how that breaks down after 3 weeks, we've got three-way ties. Of course, as the year moves on, there can be a lot more fluctuation right now, but it just so happens that nobody's really getting any repeat placement in the standings. But our top three are Bianca Belair, Cool Cow, and Kenny Omega. But Cool Kyle in fourth place is a tie with Hikaru Shida, Roman Reigns, and of course every member of whatever horrible thing Mark called the Legado del Fantasma.
Said something about a cat, right?
He said something about a cat and a fiesta and these pantalones or something. And in seventh place, but technically third, Matt Riddle, Cesaro, and Mercedes Martinez. All of those scores are going to be up to date. They're on the spreadsheet right now that's available on 3countthursday.com for the wrestler of the year standings. So you can always see where things line up at any given time. Those results actually get updated before the show airs, just to give you guys a little bit of inside baseball. But avoid your spoilers. And
Iron Man dies.
You are a so-and-so.
So yeah, if you want to visit 3 Count Thursday, which you should be doing fairly regularly anyway, but you can head like you said, you can head over there. But that is the standings for the week.
Since John Moxley, Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Recount Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
The 3 count question of the week.
Worked last week. We might as well
I feel
go
so inadequate.
from one right into the other. Ryan, even if we get a jingle made for that, which I'm not opposed to, this is never going away.
3 count question of the week.
Like, you know that, right? Like, even if
I don't even ever remember saying that.
That's the
I
beauty.
do.
Like, that's the beauty of some
I
of
don't
these.
remember much from like a week ago.
Right.
So
no.
I'm not shocked I don't remember saying that on a podcast. But
I mean, you remember saying I'm a sausage guy, right?
we were talking about pizza.
Right.
I actually went to Roma Pizza today. I got their 2-slice special. One slice had sausage on it, one did not. It was delicious.
Is it because you asked them to put all of their sausage on the first slice and they didn't have enough?
The entire slice was covered in sausage.
Sausage crust.
Like, you could like put a little bit of sausage on a topping, like for a pizza. From crust to tip, this thing was covered in sausage. It's like they knew.
They knew what they were dealing
They
with.
didn't actually.
They know.
It wasn't slices of sausage. They just took
The
entire
sausage
rings.
crumble. That's what makes it so good.
No, it was actually whole like
Just
rolls
whole
of sausage
Sausage.
lined up.
Kielbasa's laying on top.
All of it. Every basa there is.
I mean, Ryan, do you remember saying this?
I'll take a shot in the mouth. Yeah, that was to Tim saying about spitting people.
Yes.
Okay.
For something about curing COVID or something. Like, it was COVID related.
Matt had got his shot, so I was like, the way to spread your immunity is to just let somebody spit in your mouth and use it. I'll take a shot in the mouth.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you remember this?
It's big. It's enormous. That was just a couple days ago, and we were talking about hey, it's Conrad's head.
Yes.
Yes, there was.
I think. Okay.
See, you do remember things.
I remember some things.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
The 3 count question of the week jingle.
That was
that's
a long
been
time
a while.
ago.
It's been a bit.
That has been a long time. Like, you guys were allowed in Studio L when you said that.
Those were the days.
That was a long time ago. But yeah, even if we get a jingle made, which again, I'm totally.
What I would love to see is us make a video for the wrestler of the week to play under that amazing song. And then when the 3 count question of the week comes, it's just like a shitty paint graphic that's just 3 count question of the week with my shit jingle underneath of it, just to really drive home the point.
But yeah, it is never going away.
The 3 count question of the week.
But this week it's what is the best WWE Championship title change of all time. And it came from WWE posted a list of the top 20 title wins in the last decade. Did you guys see the list?
No.
Do you want me to go over the list?
Thanks for sharing that with us beforehand, Jim.
What's the top 5?
I actually don't, just so it doesn't.
Oh,
my pick.
that's actually really smart.
I agree.
All right,
with Matthew.
we'll hit them after then. So, does anybody want to give theirs first?
Matt, clearly.
Okay, Matt, go ahead.
I mean, the one that stands out to me, and this is any title, correct?
WWE Championship.
It has to be the WWE
Yeah.
Championship.
Ooh.
Well, that changes my pick. It was initially going to be when Ziggler beat Del Rio on the Raw after Mania, but that was for the.
It was for Big Gold.
It's
wasn't it?
Big Gold.
That was for the big gold. I mean,
Thanks for
Damn.
playing.
I mean,
I'm gonna be last.
I guess we can allow it. I mean, it's
The price is wrong, bitch.
wrong one.
No, that works.
It works.
Do you have yodeling guy?
I don't. I can get him for.
I mean, it's just a guy yodeling. It doesn't.
I was gonna
really,
say I don't.
I know what happens, but that's fine.
All right, so then the other one would be Daniel Bryan at 30.
Okay. Well, the latest pick is in. Trey Lance from North Dakota State to the 49ers.
I used to work with a guy named Lance. He was nice.
I think I can also hit them with a.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Same with the Jets. Oof, rough start.
Who did the Jets grab?
Zach Wilson, the quarterback
from
That's
not
BYU.
a surprise.
Long lineage of good BYU quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Ty Detmer.
I think I can think of 3.
Steve Young.
Steve Young. Wasn't Alex Smith? Or was he Utah?
No, he was Utah.
I can name 1.
I mean, yeah, the Detmers went there. I mean, they had long
Coy and
careers,
Ty.
but like, I wouldn't say they were great careers.
I actually didn't even know Coy went.
I assume they both went there. I mean,
I assumed Coy just kind of was like on the bench with Ty at a game, and someone was like, "Hey, you throw the ball to people when I'm warmed up."
Like John Moxon and
he could really put the mustard on it.
Friday Night Lights. Anybody want to go next?
I guess I can do it.
Okay.
Smokey.
I'm gonna get him. If you're even thinking about changing the channel to our competition, fans don't, because we understand that Mick Foley, who used to work here one time as Cactus Jack, is going to win their world title. Oh, it's gonna put some butts in the seats. Yuck. January 4th, 1999, Monday Night Raw, Mick Foley defeating The Rock in what was the changing point in the Attitude Era, the changing point in the Monday Night Wars. I think goes down in history as the most important and whatever the question of the week was officially match ever. Foley's pop when he won that, when that bell rang, was phenomenal. Austin had a huge pop. It was a hot crowd. Everything was playing in the favor for the fans to flip from WCW and watch that moment.
Yeah, that's a legendary moment for the WWE. Mark, Tim, either one of you guys want to go next?
I'll go ahead and grab it after Smokey, if that's okay. Tim, is that all right?
Absolutely.
What was the question of the week again? I'm teasing. I know what it was. So I'm going to go with the most important title change of the WWE Championship was when Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank the first time when John Cena entered that Elimination Chamber. Because imagine if that didn't come off very well. The Money in the Bank really wouldn't mean much, but it was shocking because I was watching it, the pay-per-view, it looked like it was over. And then Vince came out and said, it's not over yet. There's one more match. And I certainly wasn't expecting Edge to come out. So that was very exciting. I liked it a lot.
Very good. Tim?
For me, because I think you still have yours to go, right, Big Jim?
I do.
It's going to be Bret Hart winning at some point.
I mean, Bret's got like 2 maybe, but I don't think they're the best. I'm surprised.
That's your first one.
I'm surprised nobody has said Kofi Mania yet. The first ever Black WWE champion, for African WWE champion. Depends on if you want to. It depends on if you claim in The Rock or not. But Kofi Mania for me will be the best, most memorable, most meaningful WWE Championship title change in history.
Very good. Mine, I had Kofi as like 1A. Like it was, but for me, it was Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30. Like I just, it was like the first Mania after we started doing the podcast. I'd only been kind of back in like really into wrestling for a couple of years. And like it's that first like feel great moment since I was like back in the wrestling world. So that one just stands out as super special to me. So yeah, it's Daniel Bryan. The Mankind one was up there as well. Like I think those 3 are just absolutely super important to the WWE. Charlie says Punk's Money in the Bank in 2011 for him.
I did, Jim. I did have one that had Bret Hart as like my honorable mention. It was when Psycho Sid beat Bret Hart on the first ever WWE Championship title change on Monday Night Raw. So that was your Bret Hart.
That's two, right?
That's how Bret Hart fits into this list. When Sid beats him.
So I'm
for his memorable run.
I'm very curious as to how many match or how many of those title changes we actually named correctly.
None.
No, we're on there. So do you want me to just go? You said the top 5 you wanted me to
Let's do
hit?
the top 8, which is the total arbitrary number.
Perfect. Brock Lesnar defeating Kofi Kingston SmackDown October the 4th, 2019, the first SmackDown on.
That's
let's
number
go from
8?
Let's go from 7. I lied.
That was trash.
How's that in the top 10?
How is it in the top 50? There's been
Well,
52
yeah, how's that
WWE
important?
champions. And how's that top 50?
In the last decade?
Oh, in the last decade.
Yeah, this list was the last decade.
Oh, well then
I
there's
still don't
some-
even think it should be that high though.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I
how many
mean,
have there been in the last decade? If
that-
it's last decade, then like Yeselmania has to be on the list.
WrestleMania is on the list.
Kofi Mania is on the list.
For sure.
Yeah. So number 7, Triple H wins the Royal Rumble 2016.
Yep.
Number 6, also I don't think should be this high, although I did love the title reign. Jinder Mahal defeating Randy Orton at Backlash.
That was a big deal.
In 2017. It was a big deal.
You're always trying to hinder Jinder. Fuck you.
I know. I do. I shouldn't do that. I should never hinder Jinder. Number 5, The Rock defeating CM Punk at Royal Rumble in 2013. Number 4, John Cena defeating AJ Styles Royal Rumble 2017. Number 3, Yeselmania, Daniel Bryan defeating Orton and Batista WrestleMania 30. Number 2 was Seth Rollins defeating Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns with the cash in at 31.
That was solid.
And number 1 was Kofi Kingston defeating Daniel Bryan at 35.
I think 1, 2, 3 are pretty good. They're real solid.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily put the Rollins one that high, but I mean it's fantastic WrestleMania and I mean it was the first time it was cashed in during a match. So yeah,
I thought the match was pretty decent before Seth even came down. I thought it was just a good match in general.
Yeah, I mean it was a good main event to a good WrestleMania. So, sorry, I was just catching up on the text here.
No, you're all good.
No, that's fine. We're not doing anything.
There's a lot of no love for none of us named any title wins really. The oldest one was the 99 title win from Ryan, right?
Yeah.
What did you say? Didn't you say Kofi Mania?
Yeah, that's that was 2 years
That was the
ago.
only. Yeah.
But everybody else, there's so many iconic older ones, like the Boyhood Dream from 12, Eddie Guerrero's title win at No Way Out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Sid beating Bret Hart.
Randy Savage winning the WrestleMania 4 tournament. Ultimate Warrior winning at 6.
Yeah, I mean,
Yokozuna beating Bret Hart was pretty big at WrestleMania 9.
That's one for you.
And then Hogan beating Yoko immediately after. The only time. How crazy would this? Go back in time to WrestleMania 9, in your heads, okay? I know it sucks, but just go there for just a second. Vince McMahon is not Mr. McMahon yet. He is a commentator. The end of WrestleMania 9 is Hulk Hogan celebrating in the middle of the ring at Caesar's Palace with Vince McMahon in the ring with him celebrating. Not as the owner of the company, because it's not known. Not as anything else. The commentator, Vince McMahon,
Jack
in the
Tunney
ring.
was still president at that point, right?
Yes. Yes. how insane is it that like Vince McMahon, who quote unquote punished Triple H for the curtain call, broke kayfabe and went in there and celebrated with his shiny toy at WrestleMania 9.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is not just like a quick celebration. They are in the ring for like a full 5 minutes. Like Hogan must pose, and Vince is right there. No
Pose
suit.
with him.
He's not even posing. He's
there.
he's like, God damn it, pal, this is great shit.
That's where Stephanie learned to clap. It was
just Vince. Vince is a great Vince.
It's just that awkward clap.
Yeah, man. It's but it's wild. It's wild to think. I'm trying to think of other influential.
Austin's win at 14.
Austin's win at 17. Because The Rock was a champion going in, and like Austin was like, I have to beat you. And that was the double turn. It was the turn to Vince. And,
True, yeah.
Kurt Angle, his win at like, it was in like 2001. He was like it was in Pittsburgh, and like his whole friends and family rushed the ring,
right.
and like cheered with him and stuff, like at a Jewish wedding. They just picked him up in the chairs and just just hoisted him. Not to be confused, Barry Horowitz was never WWE champion, so don't worry about it.
But yeah, like for me, I don't know. Like I said, the reason I had the Daniel Bryan win is, it was that first feel great moment since I had really kind of come back into being a wrestling fan after a couple years of being away. And even though like I started watching again at WrestleMania 26, like I don't think of any like huge moments that stick out in my mind. And again, maybe it's also too because like those moments were pre-podcast. So like once we started doing the show, it was kind of on a different level. Like wrestling kind of took on a different level for me.
What were the championship matches from 20? Was Chris Benoit, was that the main?
Benoit, Guerrero beat Angle.
The WWE Championship was Eddie defending against Kurt Angle.
Against Kurt, and Benoit beating Triple H came in as World Heavyweight Champion, and it was
Benoit,
the triple threat, and Benoit won.
But that was for the big gold.
Yeah,
that was
big gold.
Big gold.
Big
Yeah.
gold, okay.
But yeah, so like to me, that maybe that's why it kind of recency bias, but since being a fan is different now than it was as a kid. I don't know. The Daniel Bryan one just stuck out to me.
Charlie's got a couple of good ones as a WCW fan, with Ron Simmons pinning Vader and Sting's first win at the Bash, Great American Bash 90. Even Sting's win at Starrcade 97.
Yeah, he does have some good. They said Karrion Kross, that was a good win for him too.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap you. That's why I can't wait to get my second COVID shot. I'm gonna go to Roma Pizza. I'm gonna order the 2-slice combo. I'm gonna get one full sausage pizza, and
So good.
I'm gonna backhand you with the pizza.
I'm a sausage guy. Real good and cheesy. A good sweet sauce. Roma Pizza knows how to make a good pie.
They do.
You won't be disappointed.
Hashtag not an ad, not a sponsor.
Hashtag I don't give a shit.
How have you not worked that deal out, right? Like I feel like that's like a second home for you in Lidditz.
I call it, and they're like, Aroma Pizza. Hello, Mr. Miller.
Are you serious?
They're like, do you want the usual?
Yeah, they got me pretty good. It's not good.
Ryan, you want to buy them a sausage
large Mountain
shirt?
Dew, right? Large Mountain Dew. Yep, that's what I want. You got me right. All the time. Extra ice. They fucking know.
How wrecked would your life be if they changed sodas and didn't have Mountain Dew anymore? He's dead.
Just drop. I just be done. That's
I know that was
change.
A big deal when Arby's.
Big deal when Arby's did it. Yep.
That was
deal.
That was the huge deal for you.
So Jim, you would know this. Matt, maybe you. The Pretzel Hut. up north of town of Lidditz. A little like roadside thing. It holds like 50 people.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever eaten in there?
No.
They're decked out in like Coca-Cola stuff. It's like a little roadside thing. They fucking sell Pepsi now.
Seriously?
And they haven't taken any of the Coke shit down.
Well, why would they? They would literally have no decorations in that entire
That's
place.
exactly correct. They sell fucking. I mean, I love a tasty Mountain Dew, but come on.
So so I'm assuming you went there since they reopened, and now that
I went there yesterday. They had their cooks not wearing a mask, and one of the guys taking orders not wearing a mask, and I probably won't be back for a long time.
Good to know. That was going to be one of my questions off the air, but yeah, good to know. Don't need to
give a shit. They're fine with it. I'm fine with talking about it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't need to go there. Thank you.
Nope.
If they ever do get correct themselves, they do have a great chocolate peanut butter milkshake. That was going to be one of my reasons to go there. But yeah, I guess I'll have to find another milkshake.
Where was this place? The Pretzel Hut.
It's a Pretzel Hut. They don't do trivia or they don't sell alcohol, you lush.
Oh man, I couldn't stop drinking about you last night.
Jesus.
Wish you didn't say that on the air. Looks like Chase is off the clock. That's off the board.
Yeah,
there it is. Jamar Chase.
Trade back isn't looking too bad at this point.
Yeah, no. Now this would have been us, correct? We traded to the Dolphins with Pitts and Chase off the clock. I'm not upset as an Eagles fan right now.
How do the Bengals not take the offensive lineman there?
A generational offensive line.
Right. Like your quarterback's leg exploded last year because you couldn't block anybody. You had
Mark, a quarterback is the guy that throws the ball.
You had a chance to like solidify one of the most important positions in football, and you went, wide receiver sounds good.
Mark, a quarterback is a little bit less than what you would get when you went to go see that 50 Cent Nickelback show.
When I go to Raw Subs Tuesdays at Roots, instead of 2 quarterback, I get a 50-cent piece every time.
Yeah,
that's crazy that they have access to Curtis Jackson like that.
It is.
Nah, I don't know if he was working that week.
Charlie, I believe he is.
He's been hit with a few shells, but he don't walk with a limp.
All right, let's why don't we pause here for our break. When we come back, we got plenty still to cover, including we'll go into the mailbag. We got some listener questions this week, so we'll get that and much more on the other side of the break. Stick with us. 3 Count Thursday live.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports, and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
Are you looking for a place to listen to your favorite music and sports? Look no further. WLSN, the Lieb Sports and Music Network, is a web-based music and sports network. Our network was created to provide authentic, high-energy entertainment through live streaming to a national audience. We play popular music while hosting podcasts from all over the world. Curious? Check us out on the web at liebsports.com. That's LEEIB sports.com. Or find us on the TuneIn Radio app. Got Alexa? Just say, Alexa, play WLSN on TuneIn. WLSN is America's #1 blog-themed sports and music network.
Welcome back, 3 Count Thursday, April the 29th, 2021. We're glad you're with us. If you are joining us live on the video, give us a like and a share. We'd appreciate that. Get as many people in here as possible. We'd appreciate that. And make sure you're following us on all of our social media, 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Always the number 3, never the word 3. Make sure you are subscribed on all podcast platforms, as well as YouTube as well. If you can find a podcast host that we are not on, let us know. I will get us on there, but I'm pretty sure we're on like all of them. So make sure you check that out and give us a subscribe. Let's dip into the mailbag. We actually have 2 listener questions this week.
You've got mail.
This one comes from Mario on Facebook. He says, what is a famous or infamous moment in wrestling that we wish we were at live? And for me, the one I started, this is where my Bret Hart answer comes in. But it's actually, don't fucking roll your eyes at me, Matt. It's actually the Montreal Screwjob is the first one I put down. Just from the stories that are told and the excitement and tension in the building, I think it would have been a neat moment to be there live to see in 97. So anybody else want to go? Want to give one?
It's a shame that Brett screwed Brett.
It is. I would have chosen the speech where Brett Hall got tackled by a fan as
That was the 2019 Hall of Fame. Is that right?
That's the one.
Is that the one with the Revival guy grabbed him then?
Yeah, Cash Wheeler gave that dude the business. Just cheap shot him.
What a heart mark.
Hey man, look.
In all honesty, it would have been the Mankind Undertaker Hell in a Cell. I would have loved to have seen that toss from the top live, just for that holy shit moment. But a close second is the Bret Hall of Fame.
Bret Hall
of Fame speech.
Oh, okay.
The big hockey fan.
Big hockey fan. Ryan, I think our friend Danny the Crippler actually was at King of the Ring 98.
I believe Ankles was. Yeah,
if I remember.
He had some great nicknames.
Okay, I gotta find out why the guy's name was Ankles. You can't just name a guy.
I actually don't even know the story totally. I feel like he was like he was tall, redhead, lanky guy.
He's like 6'3" and probably weighs about 78 pounds. So
lanky as shit. I feel like he wore shorts one time and his ankles got really bit up and swollen. I'm actually not sure.
Yeah,
what the true nickname of the Ankles Crippler was, because apparently I think it was about his dong, but that's how he got the Crippler nickname. Jim, you can confirm that, right?
Yeah, and the goddamn worst part about that nickname, though, or when we found out about the nickname, is a friend of ours from college had passed away, and it was and it was after a lot of us had graduated and or dropped out of college. So as like the big group, we hadn't been together in years, and we're sitting before the service in the church, and we're just kind of talking or whatever, and somebody mentions that Danny's nickname is the Crippler because he's girthy, I think was the word that was used. And our friend Russ, who Matt knows, just starts laughing out loud. During the viewing, when like our friend's aunt and uncle were making their way to the casket, there's loud laughter off on the right side.
Well,
let's paint this picture just a little bit more. This is like a pew of white guys in an inner city Baptist church. Big Kev was in Philadelphia. It was I've never felt closer to Jesus or God than I did sitting in that church, though. I will tell you that right now.
Nice.
Russell Vitale. Yeah, I remember that.
That was rough. But
so
yeah,
I believe he was at that. I think he lived in Pittsburgh or something for a short time.
he did. Yeah, he was a Pittsburgh guy, but came to Kutztown and yeah, he was.
Sounds beautiful this time of year.
I'm
gonna just give it mine now because it was also Hell in a Cell 1998 at the Civic Arena. Just for that moment, which was so absolutely bonkers and iconic. You can see it on TV 100 times, but to have seen that live, there's only so many people that got to saw that or see that like with their live eyes. What a moment.
Definitely.
That or when Sid beat Brett on Raw. One of those two.
Tim or Mark?
I'll go since Mark cut me off last time.
Oh,
I'm sorry if that upset you, Tim.
It's okay. I'm all right. I feel really weird picking this as my answer.
Oh, you're sick. You're gonna say, oh, you're sick.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Oh no.
No.
I should have went
Over the Edge 1999.
Oh.
Like
you're a monster, Tim.
For my own like weird curiosity. Like because there's so little that's actually like known and mentioned of the incident. Like I'm the weird guy who watched the Chris Weidman leg break like 7 times on the internet.
Like so you're like a Faces of Death guy.
No, because here's the thing. If I'm live at the event, I don't know that he actually died.
But you know that today, true. And you're like, I want to go.
But I want to have the innocence of knowing he did
right. Because when you're
like, I'm going because when you guys go, like in your head.
Nope, I'm going because Mick Foley's flying off that cell. I know that, and that's why I want to go.
But when you experience it, are you experiencing it knowing when it happens, or are you reacting to it as if it's the first time?
I know it's happening, and that's why I wanted to go there. Today, I know it's happening.
I'll kind of back Tim up on this.
Because you're sick too, Jim.
Oh, no. Like, just because, like, if you're thinking about, like, historic moments, history isn't always good. Like, I mean,
like
people...
everything else has been documented ad nauseum about wrestling. You can watch all of it. But, like...
Why would they document that, though? Like, it's a black mark on the business.
There's a whole Dark Side of the Ring episode about it. Like, they have... not WWE themselves. But to Tim's point, like, if we're going into the Hell in the Cell match blind... For all we know, when Mankind gets tossed off of that cell, he's dead. So for the same aspect, I mean, I get this shock factor and being there. I just
think a purpose spot and an accident are very different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It is very different. And like
if Foley dies in this spot, I'm not going to that show. Like I'm not sitting here today. Number one would have been Sid beating Brett.
To me, though, it's like it's not me going for like the joy of seeing it happen. It's more so being there for like a moment in history, regardless of what it is, that myself I just don't know all that much about.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not trying to roast you. I don't want you to think that I was.
No, I kind of get it because like. That it kind of crept in my mind. I'm like, would I really want to be there? But yeah, it's one of those moments that is, you know, it is a moment. It is a moment in time. It is a historic night, not in a good way, you know, but it's history nonetheless.
If I were to pick a happier moment,
You don't have to. If you like the macabre, leave it at that. That's
I
fine.
mean, I also really am kicking myself that I did not go to WrestleMania 35 to watch Kofi Mania. Like, not going to WrestleMania knowing it's this close is like shame on me.
Let me be honest with you. Where we were sitting, all those fucking steps, it was hardly worth it.
But I was there for 29. Like, I was there pretty much in your
exhausting.
Were you in the 200 section or the 300?
We were at the very top, the last row of the stadium, the
Okay.
very, very top.
Because when
I was gassed about halfway there.
It was bad.
When we went, we were in the I think we were in like 219, 217, something like that. If you're looking at the ramp, we were in the far left corner.
Mm-hmm.
And like, still being in the crowd for that would have been just nuts.
It was wild. It really was. It was a great time. Something I'll never forget.
Mark, I think you didn't give yours, right?
And nobody died, so that was really cool too, Tim. You're right.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Mark.
All right. My moment would have to be the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view when RVD and John Cena had the main event. That crowd was wild. There's nothing like a New York crowd. Well, the Philly crowds are pretty good too, but it was that place was wild. I wish I could have been there to experience it. That would have been a great time.
Yeah,
Great.
I think Charlie. Yeah, Charlie had ECW One Night Stand as that.
Is that the one where Raw and SmackDown were up on the balcony? Or was that the second one?
No, it was that one.
That was that one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one with JBL.
Yeah, and like Maven was up there.
Maven. So that's the one JBL then hardwayed the Blue Meanie.
Yep, I do believe so.
Yeah, at the end it was the big it was the big melee. Mario did respond here. He said for him it would be the mass transit incident.
Oh wow, Luigi's dark too.
Yes, Mario and Luigi are dark. Devin has the first Hell in a Cell match. Did you attend WrestleMania? No, we didn't. We did not attend WrestleMania 37. I had a couple other ones down. Kind of honorable mentions. The final Nitro, if I could have been down at that was at Daytona, I believe. Is it Daytona Beach, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
At where
Was it
Bash on the Beach 96?
Panama City.
The final Nitro.
Oh yeah, it was Panama. Yep.
Panama. I think that would have been, to be there when Shane McMahon pops out on Monday Nitro, I think would have been pretty freaking wild. WrestleMania 30, I think WrestleMania to be in that crowd would have been awesome. And the other one I had was actually the first AEW Dynamite. I know we had actually considered going to that show because it was just down in DC. I know, Ryan, shocking, huh? Kenny Omega topped my list, and then I have this on as like an honorable mention.
To
you
be
did
fair,
get your second shot. You're having fevers over there.
To be fair, he was probably riding the high because he remembered Bret Hart delivered the belt.
Oh, that's
And
exactly
like,
what it is.
Brett's gonna be there. Oh, this is gonna be great.
And see, it's good that I didn't go because I would have been disappointed.
Yeah, because Bret Hart like almost died for your sins coming down those stairs. Remember?
That would have been a moment. He would have loved to have been there.
I would have.
Yeah, Tim would have. I would have opted against it.
Oh man, watching two hearts fall.
Oh come on, Jesus Christ!
Oh,
Ooh,
what a shame!
Yikes!
Is this what you guys feel all the time when I talk?
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
Yes, actually, it is.
Yikes!
See what happens
heartbreaking.
like when you
When
just
horrible
get dark.
things are said. Yeah,
I
this,
thought
Damn it.
Jim
when
was
things just go a little blue.
I thought Jim was going to choose Brett's Hall of Fame speech too, just so he could run in and cradle Brett's drooling head.
oh, come on!
It'll be okay, Brett.
God damn
No,
it.
actually, I thought his answer was going to be Starcade 99 or 2000, where he like runs in and he pushes Brett out of the way.
I take the hit
the
from
super kick.
Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
I take the shot. I get the concussion.
Starcade 99. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be well worth it. I would take the concussion if it
Bill
would
Goldberg
would have saved Brett's
but
career.
then you also played the genie on an off-Broadway rendition of Aladdin.
Ooh, yeah, okay, I'm out. Sorry, Brett.
If Jim, if you are at the Montreal screw job, I just feel like you implode on site because you're going to be mad at WWE and then you're going to be criticizing yourself for being mad at WWE and you're just going to be cut it out.
My head just explodes.
He would become before screaming meme like angry liberal girl, you know, the meme I'm talking about. That would just be Jim's picture.
The triggered girl.
The triggered, yes,
Yeah,
that would be.
me.
We would just use your meme of that moment.
Well, like like where Brett is slamming the monitors and shit. Like I actually would have hopped the bear. I would have been doing it with him. I would have gotten arrested in Montreal, Canada, because I would have been that mad.
Jim, it's funny that we're talking about your love of Bret Hart and his peen in and around your face so much.
Jesus.
That on my memories on Facebook today, Big Jim posted, VIP meet and greet tickets are ordered. On Friday, June 14th, I will achieve one of my lifelong dreams. I will meet Bret Hitman Hart at his appearance at the Reading Phillies game. I'm almost speechless right now. I can't wait to coddle his ball.
Honestly, don't finish what I typed there.
I am stoked to have one of my best friends joining me for this one.
Yeah, well,
I did
apparently
not-
I would rethink that decision.
I did not.
Was he actually there?
He was.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was.
I think that's the first time I met Big Jim was at that event.
I think you're right, actually.
That might have been. I think Hat Guy promotion had wrestling afterward. Then
They did. Yeah, there was I think it was like 3 matches. One of them was a ladder match.
Yep.
Ed House actually wrestled at that. I found out just recently.
Whose house?
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, so I think you're right. What's up, Scotty? How you doing?
Scotty.
I think
Scotty.
I heard Scotty might be relocating closer to us.
Oh, really?
How much closer?
I don't know.
Like North Carolina closer. But it is definitely it's considerably closer than Seattle.
I heard North Carolina is beautiful this time of
It
year.
is actually.
I've heard that as well. Any other moments, good or bad, that you guys would have liked to have been at?
Probably that moment Bruiser Brody got killed. That would have been really cool to be there.
That would have been wild. How about when Rey Mysterio killed a guy in Mexico?
That would have been really cool to watch live. That's a moment. The OJ murder would have been cool to see. Anything really. Any big popular death moment when
I love
somebody
how
loses
like
their
the
life.
3 things you pick are actual murders.
Murder.
Mike.
Can you prove it wasn't?
Can you prove it was?
I wasn't there, so I didn't see it.
Mario also
God
says,
damn it.
funny moment, the Shockmaster.
Oh, that'd have been so much fun to
Oh.
be there for
Would've been good.
Uncle Fred. Just being there and hearing Rick in real time just go, "Oh God,"
Oof.
and
That
then
was
Davey
awful.
Boy going, "He fucking fell."
That would be a great what if. What if the Shockmaster didn't fall?
Yo, he runs
What would
WCW.
his career?
He runs WCW to this day. Shockmaster destroys the New World Order before it even happens.
He would
WCW wins the war.
He
Unreal.
would have the Goldberg streak.
Oh, Chic Tugboat, the Shockmaster coming through.
It's Bischoff's kid
Garrett.
showing up on Monday Night Raw.
Garrett Bischoff
may have been
showing
the-
up.
Everything's
He could have been the
completely
third man
different.
in the NWO.
Man, what might have been.
What-
Only if.
Only if.
He was the Shockmaster.
But we also Charlie hit us up
You've got mail.
with a He says, what if Medusa never threw the belts into the trash can? And this was just this afternoon, so I didn't have a chance to give it a whole ton of thought. But like, if you think about it, does the screw job happen? Because one of the biggest fears for Vince is, something happening to one of his belts on the opponent's company again. But any thoughts to what if Medusa never throws the belt? Does it change a lot of things?
I don't think it changes that much. Because if you're being completely honest and you're counting all the cards on the table, Ducey throwing the women's title in the trash can is payback for Rick taking big gold to Stanford. Like,
okay,
Flair
yeah.
put the world title out on display forever. So much so that WCW had to create a different title for the world title until they got the big gold belt back. And then even then, they didn't even call it the WCW Championship. It was the International Championship until it got unified. So, I think it would have diminished Medusa's return. But like, other than that, like the ripple effects afterwards, like WWF didn't clamor for a women's division after that. Neither did WCW. It was kind of just like a, hey, we have your belt and we did it. But other than that, like, I just think it's one less cool moment WCW has.
Yeah, we don't get that moment in the Monday Night Wars DVD, or
That's literally it.
The network special. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if there would have been more to it after the fact, then I think there's more to the what if. But I just don't know if there's any. I don't know if there's any big ramifications. I mean, yeah, when. I still think the screw job plays out as it did.
They could have got a replica and done the same thing, and nobody would have been the wiser.
Well, that's true.
I mean, I assumed it wasn't the real. I don't know what I assumed at the moment when I saw it, but I would assume that WWE kept the belts. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think it was like the real championship belt. And once it's in the trash, what more can you really do with it? It's done. It's trashed. Move on to next week and don't get featured on Nitro for like 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah. It just. Mark, Matt, any thoughts?
I can't tell you one WCW women's match that I actually ever gave a damn about. Not one.
Oh,
that is possibly the most accurate thing I've ever heard about WCW.
I mean,
woman versus woman, like literally.
I don't remember them having women's matches.
They had a women's title tournament when Medusa showed up.
Miss Madness was there. There's not much I remember, honestly.
They brought in Bertha Faye.
Yeah,
I forget her
Rhonda
name.
Singh.
Rhonda Singh. They actually had some really good Japanese women for a short period of time, but I don't know what happened. But boy, they had some really, really good women's matches, but it was so short-lived.
Here, I'll even goes. So the women's title was created in 1996 and it was created December 96 and was retired January 8th, 98. The tournament had Medusa and the only other name you guys probably know is Miko Satomura, current NXT UK.
No idea who that is.
But yeah, it's not a very good long life for the women's world or women's championship in WCW.
Yeah, Let's see. Charlie says, "I truly think and believe there wouldn't be Montreal if that hadn't happened." I don't, because like, while it seems like a really important moment, like I still think if you go back to Tim's point, like you had Ric Flair showing up in WWE with the big gold. So like if you're having that standoff, if you're having that moment of Brett is leaving, Brett doesn't want to drop the title, we want to make sure that, because they already know that he could theoretically show up over there with the title. They're not going to let that happen. I think Montreal happens either way, whether Medusa drops that or not. I don't think it's a situation of that it changes the game, that it changes anything.
Just a quick, what is going on with this draft? But what is going on with this draft?
What happened? I'm trying to find a tweet from Monday night for our
Detroit took the offensive tackle Sewell,
and then Carolina, Denver went with Horn and Surtain, so the corners are off the books.
Yep. So now Dallas is on the clock, and I've already got the graphic lined up for the pick. I'll display it now for those who care.
Oh God, they're gonna do something bad. I don't like Cowboys draft picks.
So the pick is who cares?
But yeah, I'm trying to find this this one tweet for our next topic. But let's see. Charlie also says only women's match WCW he cared about was Daphne and Miss Hancock in a wedding gown match.
Yes, that was
forget about that.
What show was that? We covered that on another show. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Bash at the Beach 99, maybe. It was the Bashes season for sure. Daphne versus Miss Hancock.
That one probably
Bash at the Beach 2000. I was close.
2000. That one was a good one to remember. But yeah, if you want to if you ever want to send us a topic, you can hit us up 3countthursday@gmail.com. Hit us up social media inbox on any of those as well. And we will try to get to them.
And when they try to reach out to us on social media or anything like that, and they're spelling out, they're typing in 3 Count Thursday.
You'd always use the number.
It's always the number and never the
always
word.
The number, never the word. It is never the word.
Okay.
Although I was able to recover some of our very first episodes from the archive. So if you are subscribed to us on any of the podcast channels over the next few weeks, you may start seeing those drop on like a way back Wednesday sort of thing, so you can hear us from literally like 7 years ago. And the first one was actually spelled out the word 3, but times have changed and it wasn't officially 3. What happened?
Dallas traded their pick to Philadelphia.
Say what now?
Dallas Cowboys have just traded their current pick to Philly.
Okay.
So we're gonna end up with Smith probably,
or Fields.
Hold on.
Right. We're gonna have to fucking shut this down. Tim, get your shit in. Get your shit in real quick, Jim.
I got the graphic change.
Because I'm gonna fucking lose it.
You can follow me on Twitter. It's at 3CT.
The graphic is changed. It now says Philadelphia's pick. Who cares?
I'm unfucking real.
It's not Ryan or Matt. All right, let's go to the next thing here, and this Ryan and I kind of stumbled into this topic because during Raw on Monday, I had tweeted out wrestling fans claim to want changes to WWE programming, particularly Raw, but so many don't give the changes in new stars a chance to land. Ryan, you had responded if this was about Adnan Virk, the new play-by-play commentator, and he was part of it. I think a lot of it too. Like people were complaining about Damian Priest. There was a couple other things, but like it was more of like a general thing because, as we've discussed on the show for a while now, like Smackdown really is like the big brand in WWE. Like they are the better brand. They are the A show. You can probably there's probably a great case that NXT right now is your second best programming out of the three, and then there's Monday Night Raw, and for one reason or the next, Monday Night Raw, it just is not great, and they're trying maybe kind of but my point was is there's I've seen a lot of times in recent weeks that people just what Verk's been on there for, this was his third week, and people are like, this guy's terrible, he shouldn't be on. Or if they're starting a new angle, starting a new push, whatever, it's almost instantaneous. Sometimes that people are like, this sucks, so if you don't want, and this is pre-pandemic, but if you don't want the big dog Roman Reigns all the time, if you don't want John Cena to be the number one guy all the time, like you have to, pushes have to be allowed to happen. Like you have to give new stars and new roles, and if you want more action in the tag division or the women's tag division, and I'm not saying what they're doing right now is great, that women's tag division is rough, but like just in general, and it was more of a general tweet, like you need, things need a chance to breathe, and it needs a chance to develop a little bit, because like there has been things that have worked that if you go back to the very beginning, they may not have looked great at the start, but they have developed into better things over time. That was my point. But like if you're looking at, and I don't think it is just as simple as 3 hours versus 2 hours, because everybody says that, like, well, if Raw wasn't 3 hours, it'd be better. I mean, it would feel better maybe, but like, and I think Ryan, you pointed out that the difference in main events, like SmackDown, the closing segment on SmackDown was a face-off between Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. It was the story that was told throughout the night, and it's the head of the table giving Daniel Bryan one more shot, and if you don't want it, or if you can't win it, you're done. I want you off of my show. And it just felt big. It felt like a moment, and we're looking forward to next week when Daniel Bryan gets that shot. And then you transition to Monday Night Raw, and the main event is what? Drew and the Choo Choo Man versus
T-Bar and Mace.
Yeah.
I think was the advertised match.
And I actually kind of like where I think they could be going with Mace and T-Bar. So I think that was part of my let's give it a chance to play out here. But like
I mean, even it's so bad. Like not this week, but last week, the masks come off and they pretend they don't know. Good. That's a good pick. They pretend they don't know who Dio Madden is. Like it's the guy was on Raw calling Raw matches.
Yeah, but
He actually was. Like, there's no way you can't pretend as a Raw commentator you don't know the guy that was chilling next to you. I mean, I pretend I don't know you, yes, but not like that.
I don't necessarily like that argument though, because
I get it. It's not a anti AEW.
No.
I get it.
But like in over the course of time, if you know, if somebody, if there's a gimmick change and they're being presented as something different, they will act as if it is a new character.
Give me an example.
What's Dabba-Kato's name on SmackDown?
Commander Aziz.
Right.
What is Bray Wyatt's original name?
Husky Harris.
What was Ryback's original name?
Skip
Ryan
Sheffield.
Ryan Reeves.
And then he was Skip Sheffield.
Yeah.
Was it really? Oh, I didn't know
Because
that.
he was on Tough Enough. So
I mean, wasn't Daniel Bryan? Didn't he come into? Did he come into NXT as Bryan Danielson?
No.
Which they eventually. Okay, I couldn't
Daniel,
remember.
He was Daniel Bryan at that point.
But like,
I'm trying to think on like who else has had like a name change that people knew exactly who they. I mean, Crush became the Repo Man.
Smash. That was Smash.
Smash became Repo Man.
But
Isaac
Repo
Yanko
Man
DDS.
wore a thing, so you didn't know it was him.
Come on now.
Like that's pretty obvious.
Tugboat and Typhoon.
Mm-hmm.
He ate one wore a hat, one didn't, Jim.
But my point is, if there is a gimmick change, if they're a new name, new identity.
So by taking the mask off, Mace became Mace without a mask.
He's still
but
Mace.
not Dio Madden.
Correct.
Got it.
Because now Mace has dazzling paint off of his
Yeah, they have
which is fucking ridiculous too.
Okay, but Demolition does it, it's cool.
Okay, 1980s call, they want their fucking gimmick back.
Yeah.
Hey, take their masks off. Take their masks off. W says,
Hey,
yeah,
hey, Dynamite,
we hear
the
ya.
rocker,
We'll
the
take
Rockers
it.
called. They want their gimmick back.
Yeah, that's fine. You can shit on the
Right.
Young Bucks all you want. That's fine.
The Rockers never wore obscenely expensive Jordans.
That is true. That is true.
The new Rockers did though.
Did they? Leif Garrett and was it still Marty?
Leif Cassidy. Oh my God. It's a wrestling podcast, and 2/5 of the podcast doesn't even know the fucking name of the guys in the new Rockers. Leif Garrison, Leif Erickson. Jesus.
Wasn't
Griff Garrison, right? Wasn't he?
No, that's a
Cassidy,
Varsity Blonde.
Oh.
Leif Cassidy was when the Partridge Family, wasn't he?
No.
Who?
Who?
I didn't actually mean that like that. Who did you say, Mark?
I wasn't it Leif Cassidy? He was that heartthrob from the Partridge Family.
No, that was Orange Cassidy, silly.
So the Giants traded
to who?
Chicago.
Okay.
Bobby Heenan.
But yeah, I mean, I just
so they're gonna grab Fields here then, right? That makes sense.
No, they're probably going to take Mac Jones.
Okay.
So
Just-
when their quarterback fails, they have the same quarterback takes over.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan. I would love that actually. But yeah, I just, you know, like, yes, 3 hours is a long time for a weekly television show, but it like there's a lot of it that does seem lost, and I think that's the biggest issue with Monday Night Raw is it just nothing seems to go together. To me, that's probably my biggest problem with it. Now, I thought this week's show was a little bit better than last week's, which was a little bit better than the debacle that was the Raw after Mania. That's not saying that either are great or all-time shows or anything, but I thought there was slight improvements each week. But yeah, it just like SmackDown feels like there's a purpose to everything, every piece that's happening. NXT feels like there's a purpose to everything that's happening. There's definitely things on Raw that don't feel like there's a purpose.
I can't believe that people are still using the 3-hour argument. Now, 3 hours is probably too long. I'll never say that.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can't tell me that 2 hours for like Dynamite and SmackDown, which goes quick, you just add 1 more hour to that and it would be as bad as Raw. That's not the case.
Well, and
But
here's the
this is
thing.
clearly a
everybody's
writing
like,
problem.
Everybody that says 3 hours is too long, like if they love Dynamite, if tomorrow they came out and said 3 hours of Dynamite because TNT wants it, because that's the reason that Raw is still 3 hours, because USA is still fine with it. Raw was first, second, and third in cable ratings.
Well, Jim, ratings don't matter.
No. But my point is that third hour is not hurting USA.
I know what you're saying.
That's why USA isn't cutting the third hour.
You will get more viewers on that than a rerun of Grizzly Knows Best.
Correct. So, like, you know, but Dynamite would be the same way. If Fox wanted it to be 3 hours for SmackDown, it would be 3 hours. It just would.
Thank God Fox News runs at 10.
Amen.
So, to me, part of me, and this is the only time I think in like conspiracy theories.
Ooh, tin hat time. I
know. Someone get your tinfoil out, fashion it into the shape.
Wish I had the X-Files music, but I
don't. Do you have anything Alex Jones related on that board?
I don't.
No, nothing about frogs?
No, nothing about frog people.
Personally, I think that WWE, in some weird, twisted,
I'll go Jericho. He's close enough to a conspiracy.
stupid reason, I think they might make Raw bad so people can talk about how great Raw is in like 2 weeks. SmackDown is consistent across the board every week. You get the same thing. Like, you know what you're fastening into when you watch SmackDown. It's a quality 2-hour wrestling product.
So, like, so what you're saying is that Raw this week was terrible. In 2 weeks, it feels like a really good show, and so it feels even better because this week was terrible. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like, so you guys watch long episodic television shows.
Mm-hmm.
Not every show in a season is a banger.
Correct.
There are some crappy shows in a season. You have to have the crappy shows in the middle to separate, like, the really cool shows. It's very weird. Like,
yeah, no, that makes like
it's up and down. Like,
I agree.
Our human brains can't handle staying on a high for so long.
Yeah.
Tim, have you ever watched the 90 Day Fiance? Because I beg to differ.
Some would question if any of that was good to start.
So what you're saying is this last 3 weeks of Raw were just back to back to back paintball episodes from Community.
Yes.
If
the
people are like, I'm sick of watching this shit, and just stop watching.
If the paintball episode was a really bad episode of Community, then yes.
Are you Tim? You were the Community guy, or Matt? You were the Community guy, right?
Correct.
My bad. I had the wrong podcaster. I was thinking about my
Bears
bad.
took Fields.
Yep, and now Dallas is on the clock.
Oh, cool. What not position we don't need are they going to take?
You guys should go corner, right?
Corner, yeah, corner's probably the
so
biggest.
You're gonna go
corner
linebacker.
or offensive line, because that offensive line needs rebuilt.
So you'll go linebacker here.
Yeah, 100%. Hell, they'll probably take Mac Jones.
No, they'll probably take a receiver. They'll
Yeah.
take Bateman
On the ESPN app, it says the best fit is oh Christ, that dude from Notre Dame, the inside linebacker with the two names.
Oh, Amusu More. I can
that
never
guy.
say his name right.
Yeah, him. It says your best fit right now.
I'll buy the jersey tonight. Actually, no, I won't. I don't have a job.
You're a sick man, Jim.
I will cut out a piece of paper large enough to make it a jersey.
I will beg my wife tomorrow to let me buy the jersey tomorrow.
How many foot rubs does it take to get a
the only current Dallas Cowboy jersey I have is their last first round pick that was a Notre Dame graduate, and that's Zach Martin. Yeah, like, and I think too, like, and it's not just because it's 3 hours, but sometimes I think that with Raw, maybe it's more about like one or two things on the show that is like good or stands out is maybe what they're going for. as opposed to the whole thing. Like maybe, I don't know. Like I'm like hypothesizing about why it can be as comparatively speaking, compared to SmackDown, why it's so different. Like that's the part that's so hard to me.
Here's the deal. I fully expect this SmackDown main event to end with a bunch of Gaga and probably be a no decision or something like that, where there's not a true winner. And I'm fully expecting to be like, that's kind of a letdown, and it'd still be significantly better than this week's Raw.
But that's because what they're gonna do to make it a no finish is gonna make more sense than anything else on Raw. Like for example,
you're right.
Like for example, when the Retribution guys jumped Drew McIntyre at the end of the first Raw, it makes no sense.
Right.
We're talking about the dudes who couldn't win ever, who got belittled by 5'9" Mustafa Ali, are now 2v1ing the former WWE champion?
Mustafa Ali, who preached like creating and causing that chaos, they finally set their sights on a high-profile guy after they break that group up.
Yes.
Yeah, none of it makes sense.
But when they do this non-finish where Edge shows up and costs Daniel Bryan the match, Daniel Bryan wins by DQ, Roman goes off and does his own thing. Like, whatever decision is made, the non-decision, I think the only decision we're all going to hate is if Roman beats Daniel Bryan clean and Daniel Bryan goes to Raw.
What if he goes to NXT?
I'd hate it. I think I'd hate it even more.
You would hate it more than if you went to Raw?
Yeah.
I don't think NXT needs him.
I don't think they do either, but I think it could be fun.
I mean, it would be fun. It would, yeah, nice little trip, you know, recharge the batteries.
The only decision we're going to be talking about that we regret next week on this show is the decision to have watched Raw in the first place next week.
Oh,
wow.
My.
Look, here's the deal. I feel like I'm hitting pretty good for these predictions. If you think back to our New Year's predictions, I unfortunately was the guy that said Keith Lee will not be winning any championships this year. And we're 4 months in, and I'm looking damn good on that.
He ain't even been in a match since what? Before the Rumble?
Is he hurt?
I'm saying what I'm saying.
Do we not like? Does nobody know about?
I mean, you guys have Mia Yim's phone number.
I forgot to ask for it that day. Ryan, did you ask for it that day?
No, she was too busy sleeping.
I was gonna say he asked, and that's when she fake fell asleep.
I wish I would. What if I remembered my headphones this morning? That was her. What?
Who in the hell is this guy in his best Michael P.S. Hayes jacket?
Dude, who is that? I have no idea. Literally,
looks like he made that.
No idea who that is.
Made that coat out of a set of curtains.
What is happening right now?
Oh my Lord.
What?
He got the biggest size and it wasn't even big enough.
What pick number is this? Why is it like
12?
They have the Cowboys on 12.
This is
I feel
why
like they're giving a ton of time. I thought it was like 5 minutes. I think they're like 8 minutes.
Yeah, that man's
something.
master.
Yeah, but even once the clock runs out, they have to wait for Kuiper to quit talking, and then they have to wait for Goodell to march his ass up onto the stage. It takes forever. I hate the NFL draft.
No, I missed last year when it was just Goodell.
Last year was great.
There, sipping his scotch, and it was like, "Here's your pick."
So how do you feel?
You're watching Uncle Roger.
Jim, you got the big old Penn Stater.
Parsons. I like that.
Sir. Yeah, I don't think that's
I
a
like
bad
that.
grab.
I don't have it yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
That's all right. No, I like that pick. I won't buy the jerseys, but I do like that pick.
Yeah, he'll fit right in there with his attitude issues and everything.
Well, let's as long as he doesn't have the same injury issues as Sean Lee, then I think I'll be okay with it. But yeah, I mean it's
So what I'm actually hearing is you want the draft to be 2 hours as well, Jim. That'll fix anything.
no, I mean I just never really care about the NFL draft. Because usually the Cowboys pick like hell.
I never care, period. Just put it up on the screen. Let me see who it is. I'll fist pump if I like it, and we'll move on.
It's going to be background noise when I'm working on stuff after the show.
I used to be a huge draft guy when it was the 2-day deal. Like I would get up early on Saturday, and that was my whole weekend. And
it was great when we were in college because we could just get shit faced and watch the draft and barbecue. Ryan, were you there the year we duct taped Scotty to his chair?
I don't remember.
Okay, so our friend Scott is a Titans fan, and there's been a couple of years where they drafted terribly, and he got really pissed. So we actually duct taped him to his chair.
I mean, sounds like something I would have witnessed, but I probably would have been drunk.
Well, that's true. They it was the year I think they drafted DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and he almost ripped himself out of the duct tape.
DeBrickashaw.
He was so mad.
He had a good career.
Damn it. All right, if I have a new rule for myself, if I'm ever podcasting when the Capitals play the Penguins again, I'm just gonna not podcast.
Just don't watch.
I mean, it'll still happen.
Yeah, but I think part of it is
what's the score?
Caps just lost in overtime.
See, I feel like you should just like not watch because they know that your attention is split. So you're not dedicating 100% to the team.
That's true.
So
that's why they lost.
Sucking the energy away from the team, Jim.
That's true.
So just don't watch, and then they know, oh, we can't count on Jim today, so we got to give more, but we're getting like 40% of Big Jim, and in turn, we got to give like 160% to make up for Jim's less than 100%.
That's a good point.
Steiner math.
I won't Steiner math. Before we get to the news, I was going to talk about the Piper doc, but and kind of do like the legacy thing with him. But for me, have you guys watched the Hidden Treasures show at all?
Yeah.
I didn't watch this week. I need to watch this week.
I get like all the shit's played out for it's a show. It's a TV show.
Who is the wrestler or wrestlers this week?
Kane and the Undertaker.
Oh, so okay. So let me guess, because they did 3 items, right?
Yes.
So 3 total items.
Yes.
An original Kane match.
4 this week.
Oh, 4. So 2 for each.
2 for each.
Okay. So an original Kane mask, I'm guessing, is 1.
Jim, are you gonna give him a ding when he gets him?
Kobe.
Cool, I'll take it. What about the No, I think the WWE has to have that Phantom of the Undertaker mask. WWE has to already have that. They don't? So it was on the episode.
Kobe.
Hell yeah.
2 for 2.
All right. See, here's another thing. So Kane doesn't really have that many like memorabilia memory pieces.
Is it the Kane cape?
That's what I was just going to say.
No, if it's something, it's got to be like the voice box.
I'll give you a hint. It's actually pre-Kane.
Is it the Isaac Yankem suit?
No.
Okay, then what is it?
It's the Diesel suit.
No.
Is it the
Is it from the Unabomber?
Unabomb.
Unabomb. Wow.
Yeah, it's the Unabomb gear, the mask and the yeah.
Okay, and then
Ted Kaczynski.
And then the last Undertaker thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Is it the Warrior coffin that got all smashed up?
It's not.
It can't. I don't think it's a coffin.
There's technically two things left still for Undertaker because the Phantom Mask was just kind of, they ended up with it.
Yeah, like he was
That was the
going through
bonus item.
his storage, and it was in a tote.
Oh.
It's a good place to keep that, probably.
Um,
Something that any of us would have, like,
An
in a
urn?
glass case.
An urn?
There was an urn.
Was it the big urn?
No,
Okay.
not the big urn.
Was that the one that shot the light out of it, Tim?
That was the big urn, yeah.
The big one?
So
was it the urn that Kama Mustafa turned into a gold necklace?
It was not. It was not that.
is it the Mankind urn with the dent in it?
From the Boiler Room Brawl?
Yes.
Kobe.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
So there's one more.
Yes.
I'm gonna just guess like Undertaker's black gloves.
No.
The original gloves.
No.
Okay.
Was it the Undertaker's first T-shirt design?
It was not.
Was it the chair that he
It was a first item from his career.
Is it his first
Is it,
teardrop tattoo?
It was not his first teardrop tattoo.
Was it?
Was it his?
Go ahead.
I was thinking a Sarah tattoo that he had covered up.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a piece of his neck.
This is flesh.
That would be something.
Is it a title?
It's not.
Okay.
It is gear. I'll give you that. It is.
Is
it
it
is
his first tie?
No,
Yes,
it
it
is. It
is.
is a full set of gear.
Is it his black glove from when he was being Mark Callis?
No.
It is the American Badass debut gear.
No.
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 Is
I
it
bet
the
it's his-
Undertaker as Kane gear?
No. But I'll give you a hint to like when he became the American Badass. It was upon a return. This is gear from a return.
Huh.
Is it a
Person had
motorcycle?
it.
No.
Okay, so
It's the trench coat with the American flag inside.
No, that's a good guess.
so Undertaker returns. He returned.
Is it actually the band Limp Bizkit?
No. So he
Also
is
in
it
his
the
story.
WrestleMania? Is it the WrestleMania 20 gear?
No.
Okay.
Is it the rest?
Go ahead.
Is it the gear he took off and folded in 33?
No.
Is it the
Is it a
ge-
motorcycle?
No.
Is it the gear of him popping out of the casket at the Royal Rumble?
No.
Okay.
It's not Kamala's casket.
Is it the SummerSlam 94 gear? The purple gear?
The first purple gear.
Oh my!
So I should have thought of that
Kobe.
because whoever has the purple gear also has the mask.
Yeah, and he
That
had
makes
both.
sense. That checks out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw something about the mask getting like made for the Undertaker. I don't know if that was from a WWE, but like the steps it took to actually make that mask for him just recently on Twitter. So I'm assuming it had to do something with that show.
It probably did, but I love this show. I don't know which I love more. If I love the documentaries, like both the Austin and Piper docs have been great, or the Hidden Treasures show. I just A&E and WWE are hitting them out of the park, on these ones. All right, let's go to the news. I have 4 items this week on this week's Grown Ass Women's podcast, which is Mickie James, Victoria, and SoCal Val. Mickie James spoke out in her release from WWE, including how she pitched an all women's brand in WWE. So there was a moment where I said, what if we do an all female brand? If I could help lead up that and have an awesome team of women, we have the talent, tools, and facilities. It would really help all the girls who are not getting television time. This one person said to me, they're never going to do it. Women's wrestling doesn't make money. WWE Evolution was the lowest rated pay-per-view in WWE. I get what you're trying to do, but I don't understand why you're fighting so hard for it. You should play the cards you're dealt and see if there's a way to incorporate that within a show rather than fight for it to be its own show. So before I go to other news items, do you think that an all women's brand in WWE would beneficial is not the right word, would be, I guess, cost effect. I don't know. I don't know the best way, but would it be profitable to the WWE?
To make a 1 hour show for all women, I don't think, how could that possibly be a problem with all the programming they have and all the talent they have? That would be simple, I would think.
I think there's a rise in interest for women's wrestling. I just think it has to be done the right way. And I don't know that the timing right now is perfect. I think they're still getting there. I think they could down the road, but I would need Kevin Dunn's hands as far away from that as
you ain't kidding.
I think it does more harm than good. I think they've worked really hard to become equals to the guys. Let's treat them like equals and keep them on the same show.
The last time WWE had a great idea where they were going to make a specific brand for something, they completely alienated the cruiserweight division. And now we don't even remember that Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa and Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy were all cruiserweights. Cruiserweight was the kiss of death. And they have an hour's worth of television. Can you name me 5 people who wrestled on 205 Live?
Tony Nese.
Good one.
Big.
Leo Rush, not with the company. I'm sorry.
We're talking currently. Yeah, I'm
Jack Gallagher.
Jack Gallagher.
Famously canceled.
He go.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit. Yeah, he gone. He gone. All right, let me think who else. Davari.
Sean, not Sean.
Aria. Davari?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's not good.
See, now you're on the spot.
The Bollywood Boys.
What's their names?
Oh man.
They don't
Gurv. So Gurv.
Gurv Singh.
Gurv Singh and Herman
Singh.
Herman Singh. Fuck. There's got to be one more I could think of.
Mildred
Singh. Yes.
Mildred Singh.
Tim would get that reference.
Yeah, no, I can't think of another one. I'm tapped out.
Yeah, my fear with it, and here's the thing: it's not that I don't think that the women of WWE could carry a program and make it, and it be a good program. My fear is that the first month of episodes, would have a ton of eyes on it, and then it would just fade into main event land.
It ends up on Peacock.
Right. And here's the thing. I'm with you, Ryan. We went through the women's revolution and we got rid of the word divas, and the women main evented WrestleMania now multiple times. And we've had the first ever women's Hell in a Cell and the first ever women's Iron Man match. And the first, we've kind of tackled all the women's first evers. So just starting you have 3 hours of Raw. You have 2 hours of SmackDown. Make them part of the show more. That's
it works great in NXT. They do a great job of it.
Right.
Why can't we just do that?
Right.
Up.
And I feel like they do a pretty good job on SmackDown. Again, you have one less hour per week. So, I thought Bayley and Bianca had a great face-to-face this past week on SmackDown. But again, Monday Night Raw, make it more a part of the product and use more of the women. Don't just have the women's segment be the woman's champion. Have people competing so it makes sense when somebody, not Charlotte Flair, gets a shot at the women's title. Yes, it's a quote unquote problem that every time you see Charlotte Flair, she's going for the title. But part of the reason that she's always going for the title is you don't have hardly any other legitimate contenders. So make legitimate contenders. You have 3 hours.
Right.
Make it part of the show.
Did the women's tag team championships do more harm than good? Are we at a spot where we can actually say Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax together are not good? They are more apart. Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke. Can we build something with them apart?
I didn't even dislike that tag team until it became like what they're doing now, because Mandy slipped on the stage at WrestleMania. What they've done over the last 3 weeks, it feels like the Divas title.
I'm
it
big
feels
clumsy
that,
Nia Jax.
right.
Can't,
It feels that bad. And
Nia Jax bullying storyline too already. Like,
yeah,
it's a retread of a shit storyline.
And if you're looking at it, it's not just a retread of the Nia Jax storyline. This is a retread of the Braun Strowman storyline we just had at WrestleMania.
Right.
Like we literally just had big person bullied by little people as recently as like 3 weeks ago. Another problem though with having like an all women's division and like an all women's television show, we're getting the like what WWE feels is the best of the women on TV. When you have an hour, some of the negatives that they can hide in a 2 or 3 hour program get a flashlight shown on them.
Sure.
Because they may not have enough to be ready.
Tim, that's a great call, because your women's wrestling program, while Charlotte Flair may be on week 1 and 2, Charlotte's not wrestling on the women's wrestling show. She's just not. You keep her on your main event shows, Raw or SmackDown. And then, I mean, this is not a shit shot to anybody, but then like it would give a place for Nikki Crosses and things like that to work. Aaliyah's. And she's a hell of right. I mean, it's just, and then it's like the B Women's show where it's just Nikki Cross versus Dana Brooke, and no one's going to want to watch that.
It's going to feel like
and it's not, again, not a shot. I'm not trying to be a dick about it.
Yeah, it'll feel like old WCW like studio television where it's like, oh, this week Charlotte Flair in action, and they're not going to announce who her opponent is.
Correct.
It's not going to matter who her opponent is. She's going to beat Janet Bag of Cans. It like
my mind went to Janet Reno for some reason, but Janet Bag of Cans is just as good.
Oh my!
Because it's not like a soup can.
When I think of Janet Reno, I think of what was it? Was it Will Ferrell that played Janet Reno on SNL? Yeah. That's what I think of when I think of Janet Reno. But
give me that. I'm maybe tuning in.
Yeah, actually. But like, okay, so let's say today the WWE signs off and creates a women's brand. Are you using women from all three, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT? And if so, like, again, do you feature the title holders? And if you only have an hour, like, are the people on the mid card and down, are they even being featured? Like, how does that even? And if you don't, if Charlotte's not on it 1 week or Bianca's not on it 1 week, then do you have Bianca should be on there? You know what I mean? Like,
why not?
Bianca's the draw you put on SmackDown. Like, the WWE wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right. But
I hear what you're saying.
Right.
I'm doing everything in my power to say this is dumb. You want to feature women? Do another Mae Young Classic. Have a cool little tournament and get it out of your system. You want to do tag teams? Do the tag team thing again. You would do cruiserweights? Do that and just get rid of 205 Live. But nobody's going to want to watch the undercard of women wrestling every week on the cock. It's not going to be profitable for anybody.
I mean, like we crack jokes about Dark and Dark Elevation, and I get they get a couple 100,000 viewers, but I don't think you want to do something if it's going to be such a small margin of your fan base that is going to tune in.
This again is not a shot. You can look at really popular independent wrestling companies. You can talk to tons of wrestling fans. I'm willing to bet if you poll 100 just random wrestling fans, over half have not heard of like Shimmer or Shine or these other women's promotions. It's just not. I'm sorry. Great action. I've got their DVDs. We support women's wrestling on 3 Count Thursday.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
and,
not.
and
It's
that's
just
the
not
thing.
profitable.
I want better for the women's wrestling that's on Raw.
Yes.
And even to a degree on SmackDown, because sometimes it does. For SmackDown, it's only the SmackDown women's title, or if the women's tag champions show up. But like, give me more of, instead of giving me another, Cedric and Shelton versus, Riddle and Randy Orton for the third straight week. Give me, two women from the mid card for no reason than to have a match. And then maybe somebody, not that we count wins and losses, but that somebody's featured and it's not just part of the women's title.
But Jim, and you've commentated, Tim, we've all commentated here. Jim, as a commentator, that's your job, is to put over the wins that somebody is accruing.
Sure.
You don't have to have a freaking portion of your website with rankings, but your commentator should be able to speak to somebody on a hot streak, getting recognized in the division, moving up, coming into title contention. That's what your commentators are for.
Yeah. And so make it mean more on Raw, make it mean more on SmackDown. And then you don't need to think about it, because like part of the reason she wanted and pitched the women's brand was to utilize talent that you're not utilizing now. So just utilize it now. Utilize it on the if I'm taking NXT out of the picture, because NXT does their women's division correctly. You have 5 hours, 3 on Raw, 2 on SmackDown. Utilize it. I think, like
Ring of Honor just came back with their women's division. Pull up their YouTube channel. Now that was just one match. A lot of newer talent on it, but how many views did that one video get on their very first time? And again, I get it's Ring of Honor. I'm not comparing apples to apples. I'm comparing pro wrestling to pro wrestling, and I think Ring of Honor still has a decent roster and a decent presentation of what they're doing, but it's kind of underwhelming, the numbers.
Yeah, and I mean it's unfortunate, but like I said, if you utilize it better on Raw and SmackDown, then I think there's especially no need to even have the discussion about a women's brand. All right. PW Insider is reporting that WWE officials plan to start testing some live events this summer. Everything still in the early planning stages, would be subject to where things stand with the pandemic, as well as local rules and regulations. WWE would reportedly like to start in July or August, but nothing has been decided on as they're strategizing on how to best handle the situation. They're paying close attention to numerous waves the pandemic have played out internationally, as they want to make the best informed decision as to when they can start running events. While test weekend live events are possible, it's early in the process. They have not locked in any dates, booked any venues, but they're preparing and waiting for the right opportunity to take the next step forward. There's also some reports today that SummerSlam will have fans in the building. As to where SummerSlam will be held is unsure as of right now. An announcement not expected from the report I read until June. The NHL is headed to Turner Sports, including TNT, as part of their new TV contract, which brings into question if AEW Dynamite on Wednesday could be in jeopardy. Appearing on Busted Open Radio, Tony Khan refused to rule out the possibility of AEW moving to a new time slot. He said that while the company has a contract for the next 2.5 years, if it was beneficial for AEW, he would consider a move. Again, this was part of the reason that NXT had shifted to Tuesday nights when it looked like NBC was going to extend their contract and that NHL was going to be on USA on Wednesdays. But we will kind of keep an eye on this one, as the NHL is with ESPN, ABC, and also Turner Sports broadcasting as well. So
if you're Tony Khan, is it worse to move a day or worse to move a time?
If you are concerned for ratings, I would say time. because you're going to be dependent on a game ending, which isn't always a hard set out.
I think that they're doomed if they move days.
You think so?
Right now, they have it by themselves. Nitro got preempted plenty of times for NBA basketball back when they were on TNT.
Was it every week though?
It wasn't every week.
Because if and I don't know how the schedule is going to play out, because the TNT is like the secondary part to the NHL's TV deal. But like currently, every Wednesday night on NBC Sports is the NHL.
When does that game start?
Either 7 or 8.
So we're looking at moving it to what? 10?
It would be anywhere
10,
between
11,
like 9:30
11?
and 11.
I feel like that's just as equally a kiss of death.
Could move to Thursdays, unless that's an NBA night. I don't know. Is that an NBA night on TNT? Or do you jump to like TBS? Like if the NHL is going to be on TNT, could Dynamite switch?
I don't
to
think
8
that
o'clock
they're
on
going to
TBS?
put. Would the NHL move days, and not do Wednesdays?
I mean, I guess it's possible. Like I said, I don't know how it's going to break out, because
Or is it going to get used as like a doubleheader type deal where like it's West Coast,
where the 8 o'clock game.
It's a West Coast game.
Maybe they'll do the 8 o'clock game on, or the early game on ESPN, and the late game is on TNT. Maybe.
Yeah,
that works. I think that makes a
and
fun
make
little
Dynamite,
block.
Make Dynamite the lead in.
The lead into the NHL.
Hot lead into NHL at 10.
Yeah, Jim Ross is leading in the NHL as opposed to whatever random
But
movie.
Gunsmoke, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Whatever movie there. That's a possibility too. Yeah, the deal with Turner Sports was literally just announced like on Tuesday this week. So it is something to watch, but I know it was brought up on Busted Open. Like they said, they have a contract, but and this is the thing, like the verbiage that Tony put out there, like if there's a deal that is beneficial to AEW, he's a businessman. If they make it worth his while, it's going to move. So like, if TNT wants a third hour, it'll happen as well. Like that from the whole time. And then finally, Jason Jordan has received a promotion within WWE. As of late, there's several changes to several departments. PW Insider reporting that Jordan has taken over John Laurinaitis' former role as lead producer. So Jordan now overseeing the other WWE producers at TV tapings. Obviously, much bigger responsibilities. And also today, PW Insider reporting Adam Pearce has been promoted to Director of Live Events, a job previously held by Michael P.S. Hayes, who's still with the company. This is also a sign that WWE may be closer to returning to the road. So congratulations to Jason Jordan and Adam Pearce on that. I did also see earlier this week that it came out that Tyson Kidd had produced all the women's matches at WrestleMania. So that is kind of his forte. So
He's new Fit Finley, man.
There it is. So that is the news for the week, guys. Anything else? Anybody got anything else?
Just have one quick question. How many weeks until we see Trevor Lawrence on AEW?
Next week.
Over under a month.
I think you'll see him, whether it's backstage or something. I think you could see him as early as this next week.
Drinking with the Hangman.
You got Blood and Guts next week. So why not have the new face of the franchise out there on what could be a pretty big night for who do you think wins, Inner Circle or Pinnacle?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle?
I'll say Inner Circle, just to be different.
I'll go with you, Ryan. You sold me on your predictions. I'll go.
Hey, did a good job there, huh?
He picked the team that had more guys.
That's not wrong.
Actually, it is wrong.
You think I was going with the 10-man? Come on, get out of
Inner
here.
Circle. Inner Circle's got 2. The Pinnacle's
Pinnacle
got
has 3.
Pinnacle's got 3.
Oh no, Inner Circle's got 3.
Jake Hager.
Hager, Jericho. Oh, that's only 2.
That's
the only two. I was like,
yeah, and Pinnacle's got 3.
Who's the third man? Mabel?
Yes.
What's up with you and dead people? You guys are fucking sick.
Like I said, now, Devin, have a good week, man. Hope
Bye,
your
Devin. Hope your arm's okay, you
arm
chicken
feels
wing
better.
bastard.
Jesus.
I love you, Devin. I really do. I was waiting on something. It just that's what came out at the moment.
We wish you the best of cluck.
You disrespectful, stupid idiot.
Best of cluck, he says. Oh, I hate this show so much.
Anybody? I dare ask? Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, you can follow me if you want. I don't give a shit.
There you go, Ryan. You let them know where they can follow you.
I have to be up here long enough for Tim to put the graphic. And Tim, is the graphic up?
Yes.
It's over this way, right? Over this
Other
way, over
side.
my hand is. Shit, I did it again. So here, follow. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Follow the show, 3countthursday.com. I thought I had something important to say, but I guess I don't.
I guess not. Mark, got anything?
Tomorrow is. Are you guys ready for this? Hi, boys.
Sure, I'm ready.
It's the first day of the summer season at Hershey Park. I know it's only April 30th. I might have to go. It sounds like Mr. Brady needs my help.
Well, I hope you enjoy the Hershey Park, Mark. I know
it's going to be great.
Your favorite time of year.
I'm ready. Did you guys? Is there anything that you wanted from the arcade redemption counter this year?
I want you to house them. I want you to take everything off the wall.
I'm gonna take them all off the wall. We got we just got the Apple Watch the other week.
Ooh.
Didn't have a chance.
Oh, didn't have a chance. All right, Matt, you got anything?
Nope. Just give me a follow if you'd like. Sixers are heading to the playoffs, so that'll pick up soon here. My tweeting about that. Make sure you're checking out 3 Count Thursday Instagram at 3 Count Thursday Woman of the Week feature. If you're feeling so inclined to vote for the Woman of the Week, a like equals a vote. So we tally those up. End of the year, we announce a winner. Our winner of the year last year, Amarise Blair, is going to be modeling our new merch as well, after Felicia Rose was kind enough to model the Sausage Guy merch. And I can only assume that the
I'm a sausage guy.
thank you. Only assume sales skyrocketed after that. So we're hoping for continued success.
To the moon.
Tim, how about you?
At Not the Tool Man across all platforms. I do 2 other podcasts. You can hear about them on Twitter. I'm dedicating my time to Felicia Rose. Still raising money, GoFundMe. You can check her out on Twitter at Felicia Rose. She's going through a pretty gnarly battle right now and could use any and all help that you can give. If you're so inclined and you do have a couple of spare ducats, go ahead and donate them. If you haven't donated them, then your best bet is word of mouth. Spread the word and share the page with other people. Just because you're not fortunate enough to be able to donate, somebody else may be able to help her get to her recently raised goal due to what just extra fees and extra stuff that come up. So check out Felicia Rose, friend of the show, friend of the podcast, in some dire straits, could use some help. So we're glad to help out as best we can.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you do that. Make sure you're following the show at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow me, like it's down here, at Big Jim Sports. Go to 3countthursday.com. Make sure you subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms. Remember, over the next few weeks, you may start to see some vintage, as Michael Cole would say, episodes of 3 Count Thursday from deep in the archive on some of these way back Wednesdays, but you can only get them if you're subscribed to the podcast feed. And 3countthursday.com. Make sure you check out our home network, NGSC Sports, at ngscsports.com, our secondary home, the Leib Sports and Music Network, LEEIB Sports.com. And until next week, everyone, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin. Recount Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?